From inside the gym at Leominster High School, we welcome you to a Rivalry Family Media first, as well as a Leominster High School first, as we welcome you to the very first girls volleyball match broadcast live from inside the gym at Leominster High School. Great to have you along with us, alongside Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins, Todd Robbins for Rivalry Family Media, and so happy to have you joining us for this edition of Rivalry Family Media coverage of Leominster High School volleyball. A first, as we said, a great opportunity to introduce a new sport into the local community, and great to have you along with us to join us for this very first broadcast. Bill Thomas, I know you will be more than happy to let me turn the lead analyst role over to our four-time varsity letter winner, three-time varsity Leominster High School volleyball captain, Kate Robbins. Kate, you get to take over as lead analyst for the first time on a broadcast in a sport that you actually competed in right here on this very floor.
Well, that may be true, but I can absolutely guarantee you that although those credentials sound impressive, I assure you that they are not.
They sound much more impressive than my credentials there, young lady, so have at it.
And away we go with the very first set. Monty Tech with the first possession, wearing the road purple tops trimmed in white and yellow gold. And right away, Leominster with the finish at the net gets on the board first. Rally scoring here for those of you that are joining us for the very first time seeing high school or even college volleyball at this juncture. Rally scoring means every time the ball hits the floor, a point will be awarded to whichever team last successfully put the ball in play. Whichever team could not, of course, reverse the play back in the other direction. In this case, Monty Tech able to drive the ball over, not the game at one. As right away we get a substitution out there on the floor. Kate, quickly we move our way through here. It's best of 5, so you're aiming to win 3 games in this 5-game match.
You're absolutely right about that. We've already seen our first substitution. You will see that quite a bit as we move forward.
Race to 25 in each individual game. It's Tanya Torres is on the serve for Monty Tech. She'll set there and then replace, bumped over there by Lafreniere. And now Leominster with their opportunity. The back set sent over the net there. That was Perez Soto. Keep it in play. And then return.
Leominster scrambling here on defense early on. They have not had the opportunity to really get a good bump set spike going on. Defensively scrambling right now in the early going.
As we saw with some of the other seasons here throughout this COVID-modified athletic year, teams playing each other twice in a week. So Leominster and Monty Tech matched up for the first time on Monday. Monty Tech a winner in straight sets on Monday by a 3-0 score. So that was earlier on this week. Second matchup. Attempt to spike there right into the net. Not able to clear it was Madison Houle. And Leominster will go back on serve while knotting the game at 2-all.
Another substitution coming in. We're going to see Isabella Nevard. Those of you who are perennial watchers here of RFM know that Miss Nevard plays varsity basketball as well. Nice overhand serve there. Sent
it all the way to the back line, was kept alive, and then ultimately into the net. And down it comes. Curtain hangs down from the ceiling. Takes that one away from Skylar Polva.
One of the nice things there, that nice hefty serve from Isabella all the way to the back row, forcing the back row to do some work.
And the ace drives that one down the line. Sorry, Kate. Leominster with the early 4-2 lead. Nevard over her head for the third serve on this possession. It is returned.
Nice overhand pass there by Nguyen, pardon me.
There you go. Back set there. Nguyen keeps it alive, and then Sanchez drives it over. Kept alive at the back line. And now Monty Tech, the attempt to drive Clark right into the net, and Leominster adds another one. And Kate, for a team that lost in the early going on Monday, for Leominster coming out this strong, putting up points this quickly, definitely a good sign.
Certainly it is, but things can ebb and flow very quickly. Oh,
Nevard with another ace with the drive down the line.
She wasn't convinced there either. She's just as surprised as everybody else, but she'll take that.
2 officials on the floor as assigned by the local Central Massachusetts Volleyball Board. So no line officials, they just divide the court in half. Each one of them owns one half of the floor.
Nice strong service all the way to the back row.
And a whistle for the carry, so the point will go to Leominster.
Leominster on a nice little rally here with Nivard at serve. She's doing a really nice job. She likes that spot there.
And Leominster forces the timeout. 8-2, Leominster a winner on the first sequence here. They find themselves a lead as we hustle through a little technical difficulties. Lots of hand signals going on between the crew. We're good as we continue to work our way along. Leominster with the early 8-2 lead in the first set. And happy to have you along with us here on Rivalry Family Media. We welcome you high above courtside. Usually, of course, with our basketball coverage, we find ourselves down floor side, but here we got ourselves a little bit of a higher perch view all the way up on top. Get a look down out over the floor today. We also get an opportunity to say happy St. Patrick's Day to all of our Irish viewers joining us out there. Hopefully,
everybody's Irish.
I was going to say everybody gets to play a little Irish today. Wear some green, throw it in your outfit, and great to have you along with us for some volleyball action. As Kate, this has been one of those things where, as we've gone through the development and the growth here on Rivalry Family Media, we've looked for the opportunity to add sports to our repertoire. We've got some on the punch list. Volleyball was one of them. We'll have an opportunity to see this team 5 additional times. All 6 home games will be played here inside the gym at Leominster High School.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
When you put a schedule together, you put a schedule together. My word. Nivard still serving. That timeout from Monty Tech clearly to try to ice her service. But that one going to be a side out, and Leominster continuing to pour points onto the board under the guide of number 4, Miss Isabella Nivard, doing a nice job.
That was Clark with the attempted dig. Wasn't able to keep it in play for Nivard. Thought maybe her 6th serve, and that one goes down in the books as well.
Nivard here
starting 10-2 lead.
Starting to pepper both sides of that back row on Monty Tech.
Here comes another. Nivard hammers it right into the middle of the defense. Kept alive. Set by Torres. Taken over the net by Lafreniere. Set in the middle of the floor. And then the finish coming from the left side. Nice job by Josette Sanchez. The outside hitter drives it in.
Well, not only that, beautiful, beautiful overhand pass from Nguyen there. Right in that middle front, doing a nice job distributing the ball.
Nivard right to the back line again.
Nobody there for help.
Kept alive by the libero.
And this is the thing about volleyball. It's such a game of communication. You would think, how can a ball possibly hit the court in this small environment when you have 6 players on the court? It's all about communication.
Nivard clears the net again, and Monty Tech not able to drive it back over. That'll go down as an ace. 13-2 and all on the back of Nivard's strong service here in this first set.
Oh.
And walked her right into that one. Sends a low line drive into the net, but a great run for Nivard. Put Leominster up 10.
Cannot be upset with that type of an effort. If you're able to go on a run like that while you're in service with multiple aces, you should be very pleased with that effort.
And so Lafreniere will step back to the back line to take over the service for Monty Tech. She'll come right down the middle. Dug out there by Broomfield, the libero. Leominster tries to come across with the outside finish there. That was Perez Soto, and she's just a little long on the line.
Beautiful dig there for Leominster's defensive specialist in that middle back position.
Lafreniere right over the middle of the net. Dug by Broomfield. Gwen with the set, and the finish into the middle of the floor. Once again, Sanchez, that outside hitter from the left, finds the middle of the floor.
Amazing how many different specializations there are amongst those 6 positions out on the court. And if you have exceptional overhand passing, if you have exceptional service, if you have exceptional ability to kill the ball, then you're in business.
Right down the line comes Broomfield, the libero, an ace to open up her service. Kate, of course, everyone who's, kind of new to volleyball or maybe hasn't seen it before, they notice the different color jersey. That's the thing that sticks out to them. The position called libero has specific requirements. One of them, she's allowed to come in and out at any time on the floor. As you've told me a million times, she is a defensive specialist, but that doesn't preclude her from serving.
Correct. What she is required to do is remain in the back row. Not required to have a libero. You'll see on the Monty Tech side of the ball, no one in a different color shirt.
Tried to scoop it over there, did Hool, caught the net. And another point for Leominster, now up 13 here in the first set.
Quite the run. Leominster coming out here gangbusters after having lost 3 straight sets away earlier in the week against Monty.
Broomfield drives it over the net, kept alive. Nice touch on by Torres. Chipped just outside the antenna there by Pulver, and it's a point for Leominster.
Those sets from the back row trying to kill the ball from the back row, number one, very difficult. But when you're setting from the back row and you have that much space between you and the net, very difficult maneuver to try to get that over.
Broomfield catches the tape. And on serve, this is Pulver. Finds an ace. Open spot on the floor. Pulver long on the back line. And Leominster inflates their lead to 19-6 off of a strong set of service.
Now you're seeing, we talk a lot about offense for defense in certain sports like basketball. Here you're seeing somebody that was a front row hitter coming out, and you have somebody who's a serving or back row specialist coming in for Leominster to be able to take on this service.
This is Randy Wood entering the game, celebrating her 18th birthday today.
Free ball once again.
Wynn keeps it alive. And it's just gonna clear. There was a whistle and some conversation between the alternate official and the table.
Oh.
Appears to be a rotational issue.
Oh boy. So this is where things kind of come to a screeching halt, because you're gonna have to make sure that everybody's in the correct position.
And this is where I'm completely lost.
Yep. So the wrong
that's
person
why I'm not
served.
talking. They have to what?
Yeah, the wrong person served. And so now they have to reset everybody, put everybody back where they belong, and the point will not count.
So this is one of those cases, Kate, where I think about, you know, what can I say? Long-time legendary girls volleyball coach here at Leominster High School. Your aunt, Pat Meyer.
Aunt Pat.
You know, part of the beginnings of this program. And I think about gym class when she taught us how this all worked. It's 3 people in the front row, 3 people in the back row, and you just rotate your way down the line.
Clockwise.
Seemingly, in theory, that's how this all works. There's just a lot more movement going on than there is in your typical gym class where you only worry about your zone,
You can very easily get lost because you're able to switch positions after the serve. So things can get a little bit hectic and chaotic, and you can very easily forget where you belong.
Jillian Clark on the serve for the Bulldogs. Sends the line drive over the net, indeed. Kept alive. Punched on. Nice job on the outside. That was Sanchez again. Dug out there. Fired over the net. And that was Rapp who cleared the net for Monty Tech. Volleyed right back by Amosa and then touched into the middle of the floor. The server, Clark Kate, was able to punch that one into the free spot on the floor.
And Wen knew that that one was her bad. When you have that area, we talk a lot about in basketball, being able to defeat the 2-3 zone by going to that sweet spot. That tends to be a sweet spot in the defense. Nice.
Set for set, right over the back of the head. And that was Sanchez again. Just missed the line, they say, and the ball will go to Monty Tech, as will the point. Win with the set, the tap on, just wide of the net again. Okay, you can see Sanchez loves this outside left position.
Yep.
Very comfortable, the right-hander.
Yeah, once you find your spot on the floor, you like to take advantage of it, that's for sure.
Rivard digs it out, driven right back in the middle of the floor there by Pupecki.
And all of a sudden, Monty Tech getting right back into this set.
Fantastic kill from Pupecki in the front row.
Nice attempt by the Leominster libero to try to pancake that one to save it, but not able to get there.
And a timeout
I think
on the floor.
I think a very wise timeout here by coaches at Antonetti.
Yes.
For Leominster. Want to talk this one over. You had gotten out to a sizable lead here in the first set, and all of a sudden you make a little mistake here and there. You're not able to get that, that 3-hit, rally going on. You're just kind of constantly scrambling on defense, or if you're able to get that initial dig, not able to set up a kill. So you have this situation where there's constant scramble mode, and right now Monty Tech has Leominster on its heels. And so this is one of those times you want to try to stop that momentum, try to basically ice the kicker. You want to ice the service and see if you can't get the momentum back on your side.
I definitely think this is one of those circumstances where when you see some of the chaos developing out on the floor, the ability to settle things down and to kind of gather yourself and gain control, because things just occur just so quickly.
Yep.
It seems like, for as much as Leominster was up at one point in time, 13-3 at the end of Nivard's service, which seems a long while ago. They'd expanded that lead substantially in the service to follow from Broomfield. And then now, all of a sudden, we're back in an 8-point game with Monty Tech charging on the serve again.
It's all about the big mo, as they say. And in volleyball, you can certainly see the ebbs and flows here as we move forward.
Clark continues on the serve, tries to send it down line. It's wide. Ball back to Leominster.
It's essentially the same as icing the kicker right there. You take that time out, you make somebody think about it, boom, you get the service right back in, you get the point.
Sanchez will step out for Leominster. Hannah Collier will step in and take the service spot. Dug just wide of the net by Lafreniere on the back row.
One of the things that we're seeing on both sides of the ball on defense, you're not seeing a lot of fortitude, like, I want that ball. There's a lot of hesitation in the back row on both sides on defense, and it's causing a lot of unforced errors and missteps.
Kill opportunity there is long from the hand of the freshman Rapp. And Leominster now within 3 points of closing out this first set. Collier sends the liner. It was ducking to the outside, kept alive by Monty Tech. Played on by Wood, then Wynn. This one's got to go over, and able to clear it was indeed Isabella Nivard.
Stay square to that net.
Kept alive just for the moment, ends up under the net. Monty Tech with the skid across the floor. You could hear the knees go sliding across, trying to keep that one alive. Leominster within 2 of closing the first set out.
Floor burn is on the daily in this sport. Oof.
Off the dig that time from Pupecki. She got another opportunity from Clark, and she cleared it over and found the empty spot in the floor.
A lot of people wonder why not have a front row player just take a step back and be able to help out. It's so difficult to keep those shoulders square to the net and reposition yourself backward. You really need to rely on that back row to come up and kind of give their body there.
Great dig by Broomfield, not able to pay it off on the front row, and Wynn's frustrated with herself.
Well, and there's a situation very easily again with your back to the net. Just square those shoulders up. That free ball goes right over just about every time. Oh.
Nivard thought that one was long of the line and stepped out of the way, and it was just in. That one, Kate, had a little bit of angle. You could see it was cutting back in toward the line.
That one's kind of got that knuckleball floater feel, and you just you second guess yourself just for a moment, and all of a sudden it knuckles right down onto the ground.
Senior Rachel Gray on the service for Monty Tech. Nivard with the kill opportunity, kept alive by the Bulldogs. Kill at the net opportunity, and just enough for Amosa on the front row to get the extra tap to drive it over the net.
Nice job by Amosa there, making sure that her body does not come in contact with that net on that kill opportunity, and she was able to dunk it just over the net and was able to split that block. Another aspect of volleyball, very particular about the substitutions, always.
And
officials always very particular about that substitution.
Has a lot to do with keeping, of course, that rotation in play. This is Brady, try to close it out for Leominster.
The sport's an accountant's dream.
A drive over the middle of the floor, dug out, and Monty Tech is still alive here in the first set. The kill for Lafreniere. 24-15, Leominster's lead. Little trouble closing things out here in the first set.
Letting that defense take that.
Pupecki's serve, tapped back on there. That was Stanton.
Oh, that's in.
Back row, nice job by Pupecki. Came up in the middle of the floor and killed to that back row spot.
This is one of those instances you're just looking for that last measly points to get over and finish up the set. Gonna have to work hard to get it if you're Leominster.
Pupecki to the middle of the floor. Popped up by Collier, and Kate's up here in the top row saying square to the net, back row.
Square, those shoulders back row. It's a lot easier said than done, that's for certain, when you have that ball flying right at you and you got to make a split-second decision.
And Leominster will take the timeout.
Again.
Coach John Antonetti wants to slow things down on Mackenzie Pupecki, the junior, who is slowly and steadily serving the Bulldogs back into this first set of 5. Remember, race to 25 in each set. Got to win by 2.
Yep.
Got to win the best 3 out of 5 in this setup here. Great to have you along with us. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, happy to have you alongside as well.
Bill Thomas, you having fun over there, sir?
I'm enjoying the game. I'm learning a lot.
Oh, boy.
And I didn't know anything to begin with, but I'm getting an education, to be perfectly honest with you, Kate, and I'm looking forward to doing these games, but I'm just enjoying the action, learning to follow the action. I'm getting caught off guard a little bit. You never know which direction the ball's going to go. And the worst thing that I've learned to do, especially in basketball, don't anticipate where you think the play's going. It's going to go in the other direction.
Zoom out.
Well, the zoom in, I'm trying not to get people dizzy, but it's a work in progress, but I'm enjoying it, and especially your commentary, Kate. Your knowledge is spot on. I want my job back Friday.
Yes. Gladly.
Continues the serve. Dugout win. Sets it up. Nivard swings it over. Kept alive coming up from the back row. That was Clark.
Oof, tough set.
Win popped it up, cleared the net, it finds the floor, and Leominster takes the first set. And they'll take a 1-0 lead here in the match.
Nice way to end the match right there. Very spirited point going Leominster's way.
Now, Billy, especially after having lost 3-0 on Monday, just a few short days ago, to this very same team. Interestingly here, we're doing the home and home situation again in this fall too, the wedge season. If you've watched basketball on RFM, then you knew that it was a week-by-week situation and it was a home and home situation. So it's kind of nice. You get to see the same opponent 2 times in 1 week. And so Leominster and Monty Tech have already played each other in Fitchburg at Monty Tech's facility. And Monty Tech came away victorious. They straight sets to beat Leominster just a few short days ago. So clearly Leominster has woken up in their practice and they were ready to go. Very different vibe though here, Todd, in volleyball than we see in basketball. It's funny to watch you see the volleyball vibe going on, especially in pregame warm-ups. Not what we're used to seeing, is it, sir?
I did not get offered one of the birthday hats in celebration of Randy Wood's birthday. We definitely would have worn one up here on the upper deck. But great to have you along with us. And again, this is part of the expanding coverage here of Rivalry Family Media. And of course, we know just how difficult it is for you volleyball parents and of course, grandparents and aunts and uncles and all the great supporters of these volleyball teams to not be able to be inside. You know, we'll see coming up later on in the week on the K-Zone and of course with Leominster TV, the start of the football season, where because sports are returning outside, they're able to modify the public health opportunities and modify some of the rules to allow fans to return to those games. Under these circumstances, indoors right now, especially where the buildings are returning to their full operation for in-person learning, best they possibly can, you are seeing, of course, the restrictions staying in place. And these athletic directors have had their finger on the pulse of how to make this work throughout the year. And so, of course, you fans not unfortunately allowed here inside the building. But again, we're doing everything we possibly can to try to make it feel like you are here inside the gym at Leominster High School on this beautiful Wednesday, by the way. It's been a great day for some outdoor volleyball. It was wonderful coming on inside the facility
It's
today.
still March.
I'm looking forward to some snow in the ground come Friday, but
Bill Thomas,
talk about reversing the whole
you
thing,
bite
right?
your tongue over
the
there.
weather is encouraging, but it's going to have that late fall feel.
Nothing wrong with a little late fall feel in fall number 2. I'll trip over that probably more than once between volleyball and football broadcasts over the next 6 to 7 weeks.
Welcome to fall 2 in March.
Yeah, welcome to fall 2 in March. Call it spring 1, fall 2, wedge, stopgap. I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's the season the MIAA made up because you couldn't play some of the sports last fall. That's basically what you're looking at here. And it's great to have you a part of this one as we continue here and get ready for the second set. Leominster with the win in the first. And now they will begin on service here in set number 2.
Here comes the paperwork again. It's the accountant's dream. There's a lot of paperwork
and this is what Kate's talking about right here. This official.
Here's the paperwork.
Double checking, counting.
So the libero's coming in. So the libero does not usually start. So you can see 17 was on the court. And then the libero comes in on Leominster's side as the defensive specialist. So they are now linked for the game. Leominster is going to be starting this particular set with service.
And we'll see Shayla Nguyen get her first opportunity on serve.
She's been impressive.
She'll hammer this one over the net, and that's an ace.
Spot on, Kate. Good timing right there, but she has. Good call.
Yeah, if you're in the back row, you need to really bear down and get ready because this is coming like a laser beam.
Line drive, which is unusual at this level.
Here comes another. Ripped right down the middle, this time dug out by Pulver and kept alive. Back row, not able to get that one up. It was Gray, just didn't have enough steam on it. Swing that one over the net.
Well, and that's you're trying to compensate. You don't want the ball to go sky high because then you're in the rafters and you lose the point anyway, but you got to have enough muscle to get it over the net from that back row.
This one hammered on. Kept alive with the dig from Pupecki. And then over the head of Pulver.
Beautiful set.
Wood with the swing across. Tried the kill opportunity. That's long on the back line there.
Nice job by Leominster's bench there with the communication for the back row, letting them know that that ball was out. Once you're on the court, sometimes you get a little bit turned around, and so nice job with communication from the bench, helping out that ball was out. Communication is key in this sport.
Hard serve and caught the tape. That one doesn't clear the net for win. Leominster with an early 3-1 lead here in the second set. And Lafreniere will step to the back line for the Bulldogs. She had a nice run and volley in the first game.
Nice
and
job,
right into the net goes that line drive serve, and the ball will go back to Leominster.
Feel free to keep jinxing the opponent, Todd.
Man, oh man.
Just doing my job.
You're not making any friends, I'll tell you that much. You'll notice the same general setup. You have your best servers obviously coming up first. So in the first set, we saw those same 2 first servers for each team.
That one's short of the net as well. Another point for Leominster. Randy Wood on serve here for the Blue Devils.
Oof.
And Pupecki let that one get a little too close to her, Kate, and then tried to pop it up. I mean, this is one of those cases where you have to try to judge distance, right, if you're going to be able to turn the angle?
Well, there is that, and having somebody that's a front row player stepping back to try to help out with that back row defense is fine, but you kind of get into that situation where you're kind of half in and half out, and not easy.
There is a libero out on the floor for Monty Tech, unfortunately wearing a number we don't have, so I apologize for that. Set on by Clark, and then over the net, that one goes by Pupecki. Swung back by Stanton. Clark, and then the slap over the net with the kill. Madison Houle, she tried the kill in the last rally and was long in the back line this time, found the middle of the floor.
My favorite kill shot, just because I was so vertically challenged, is that little dunk in between the front and the back row, because you get that back row on their heels waiting for a kill, waiting for that overhand kill, and you just put the little dunk.
And
Love that one.
Pulver's service is long in the back line. Right back to Leominster goes the ball. As the players trying to communicate. Kate, what is the way you actually remember where you belong on the floor?
I just remember who
I'm
you're next
sitting
to.
here and I'm going, I have no idea. I'm sitting next to you and Billy. I know I always sit in the middle. That's about all I know.
You remember who's on either side of you.
So how does the official keep track of that? Does he have the numbers written in the circle?
It's an accountant's dream. They have the numbers written in the circle, and they remember.
Yeah.
Laser focus in the white polo. Laser focus.
Tough part about moving that. If this is an accountant's dream, the tough part about moving it to tax season is that the accountants are busy.
That's right.
Broomfield wide old back line. Ball will go back to Monty Tech.
It's fantastic.
And returning to the game to take service, it's Tanya Torres.
I will also say one of the things about this particular sport as well is how important the manager's job is. In volleyball, if you're a volleyball coach, being a team manager is crucially important because you are the keeper of the paperwork, and it is so, so vital. So any volleyball coach at any level, I will tell you, the role of the team manager is just as important as anybody out there in a uniform on your bench. So every coach, especially you know, ones that I'm familiar with, they treat their managers like gold.
Clark tries the kill. It's long on the back line. It's the first point going on the board in this second game for Isabella Nivard, who returned in the rotation for service.
She had the long run in set number 1 for Leominster.
Yeah, unofficially, I lost count somewhere around 8 or 9 points.
Was that her first one right there, you said?
That was number 1.
I'll keep a tally.
Here comes 2. Pupecki drives it at her, kept alive, and Wood couldn't run it down. The ball goes back to Monty Tech, so just 2 that time.
I got that one.
So now they can't insert Nivard again as a server for 5 rotations? Is that how
That's
that works,
correct,
Kate?
yep.
All right, I'm catching on.
Pupecki.
Otherwise,
Dug out by Broomfield. Wynn pushes it on and slapped right back for the kill. That was Cardosi with the kill in the front row.
And now this becomes a situation when you have that overhead pass, you want to try to get it close to the net, but it has to be done so perfectly because you don't want to set your outside hitter up for having to go directly into the net. So it's a very surgical process, that overhand pass, or any, even if you're bump setting or if you're overhead passing for a set to the front row, it's very surgical in just how far away from the net. Too far away, and that kill shot becomes, you know, less effective. But if you get tangled in the net or, you know, send it over, that's trouble.
Sanchez on serve for Leominster and drives home the ace. Leominster +7 here in the second set. Already up 1 game in the match. The dig by Pulver. Got a whistle, carry, and Leominster will get the point.
now how would you describe a carry, Todd? What is the infraction there?
You asked me. Let's
Kate.
go right on down to the expert, Kate.
So especially, you'll see it a lot, Billy, on an overhead or an overhand pass. You can't let that ball get into the palm of your hand. You can't lift the ball with the palm of your hand. If you do so, it's considered a carry.
I see the girls tend to sweep their arms away as they're putting that two-handed set together. Is that to get the palms out of play?
Yeah, you have to make sure it comes right off your fingertips.
Right.
Tap on, and Nivard not able to dig it out. That was Cardosi again. Deadly in that front right spot.
You honestly, you see it a lot more, Bill Thomas, in the women's game, in my estimation. Now that this is not a scientific fact by any stretch of the imagination, but our hands are smaller. My hands are too small to have been able to effectively overhand pass. In the men's game, they're able to, right off the face.
Yeah, indeed. That was dug by Collier and right into Wynn.
Oops.
So
She's smiling. That's a good thing.
You do see more carries with those overhead pass
two-hand
attempts in the
sets.
women's game.
Cardosi back on serve for the Bulldogs. To the middle of the floor. Broomfield gave up the body and not able to dig it out.
That's one of the most frustrating parts about this game. When you give up your body, it's all for naught. So on some there's a lot of pain associated with that. Not a lot of reward all the time.
Nivard, dig, out of play. Point to Monty Tech, and here come the Bulldogs on service. COVID protocols, only the players on the floor can handle the
Waiting
ball.
for somebody to touch the ball.
Yeah, I was
It's
going to say nobody
authorized.
else is going to grab it. So an inside out, and it's long of the line. Ball to Leominster.
Good job by Wood right there to realize his situation, get out of the way.
Absolutely. Substitutions moving around. So we had a libero going out and an actual substitution.
Sub, yep.
Tell you, court awareness is so big here. You got to
Yep.
know where you are at all times.
This is Felicia Meza.
That's over.
And slapped right back down. That was Stanton. And now Wood, dug out by Pupecki. And no help from Clark. Leominster picks up the point.
There's that sweet spot right
And
in the
it's
middle
that
of the court.
helpless feeling, Kate, I bet, where everybody's waiting
Everybody's
for the other
looking.
player.
Everybody's looking. Yep.
Exactly, and you end up looking at each other.
Meza sends the line drive to the middle of the floor.
Net.
And it looks like the net was called
Net
that time.
violation.
Or touched it twice, saw the two
Now,
come
is
up.
there no touching of the net at all
That's correct.
for any reason? Right?
That's
You can't
correct.
accidentally bump it
You got it.
The ball can, you cannot.
with no body part.
That's
Head
correct.
or nothing.
Nice job with the
Beautiful
dump by
dunk.
There's your
Culver.
shot right there, Kate.
That's my favorite one.
There's your shot. A little
Simply
dippity-doo.
because I could not jump and get over the net.
That was the skyhook dump, though. Kind of came over the head and slapped it down.
Anyway. Double checking, making sure everybody's in their spot.
Houle checks back in.
I'm telling
for
you, Bill
Torres.
Thomas. It's my favorite part of the sport.
And Clark to the back line for the Bulldogs. Nevard with the dig on the back line. Broomfield keeps it alive and win wide of the antenna.
Wynn, very interesting. Incredibly talented. At times, however, plays with reckless abandon, especially on those free balls, not squaring up. It's kind of that wailing and flailing going on, just trying to get it over the net, but kind of a little haphazard.
Wood slung it over. Now the response. Broomfield with the dig. Wynn pushes it on. Wood for the kill. Dug out there by Houle. Clark tried
Nice
the kill to
save.
the back line. Clark keeps it alive again. And they tried to shovel it over. That was Lafreniere. Caught the net and down it goes. Leominster's lead is 7.
And they have their number one server back to serve. I want to get another outside hitter up there, too. I think you'll see Nevard come out.
And the hammer brought there by Wynn. Kept
There's that
alive by
sweet spot.
Pupecki. And middle of the floor empty again.
Coach Antonetti deciding to keep the 6 out there that he's got.
Wynn with the hammer. Slung over by Houle. Alive by Broomfield. Here comes Wood. Shovels it on. Kill. Wynn double punched it, but not able to go. Ball and service will go back to Monty Tech. Kate, what I noticed about Wynn's serve, with the amount of power that she brings,
Yeah.
there is no spin on the ball.
No.
Others get it, it kind of rolls off their fingers. You get some kind of a spin movement.
Yep.
That thing is just dead traveling through the air.
It's like combination laser beam knuckleball.
Indeed. Nevard for the kill. Right back from Lafreniere. It was deflected, and the point to the Bulldogs.
Nope,
And Lafreniere was slow to get up, I think.
that's an ankle.
Yeah, she might have rolled over here on the near side. So she'll get some help off on the floor.
And she was going to be up to serve as Monty Tech's number one server as well. So this is a big blow to them relative to service. She's looking like she's in quite a bit of pain. I think you're right, probably a rolled ankle. So they're going to have to sub in. But not only that, coming in a very interesting spot because it's for service.
Yeah, the freshman Madison Rapp will get the number one service spot here.
And she was hammering serves during pregame. We'll have to see if she brings it to the game here.
Trailing by 6. Flip the tape, that's good. Kept alive with a nice dig by Collier. 2 touches there, and the ball will go back to Leominster. Or that's actually signaled 4 touches on that possession. And Collier will step out. Sanchez will return to the lineup for Leominster as the outside hitter here in the left spot. And that's her kind of sweet spot on the floor as Wood goes back on service.
That's over and out. Nice job.
Nice read there by Sanchez, looking down over top of it. Almost seeing it in that fourth dimension, looking straight down at the line. And Leominster draws themselves within 4 of taking a 2-game-to-none lead. This is Wood, right to the back line, dug by Cardosi.
Beautiful block.
Spike, yes.
Beautiful block by Nivard there.
Stanton right there alongside
All by
of her.
herself as well. Unbelievable job.
And Leominster within 3 of closing the game out.
That's my play of the game so far, that block right there.
And that kill is wide of the line. Leominster brings themselves within 2, and now a 10-point lead in this game.
And to have that block on her own, no help from the middle front.
And an ace. That from Wood brings Leominster within 1.
Set point.
You know, and just to look at that block, Kate, you're basically giving up yourself. And you know you're going to get the ball hammered into your body, and you're hoping good things happen.
And Wood lost it off the side of her palm. Leominster's lead is still 10, but service and the point goes to Monty Tech.
That 25th point, never easy to get.
This is Pulver. Nivard with the spike. And they say
They've
she
got
got the
guard
net.
going into the net.
Yep.
Let's go to the tape on that one.
Oh
Not
no,
too sure
her
about
body,
that.
her body was all up in there.
I thought the ball got the net.
Nope.
Pulver. Dug this time by Wood. Sanchez to finish. Kept alive and finds the floor. And Leominster closes out game 2 by a 25-15 margin and takes a 2-set-to-none lead.
An impressive outing thus far for Leominster, especially considering what we know happened in Fitchburg whilst they were away in their opening match of the season. So very interesting, interesting development here in the home and home situation. Nice effort. Nice rebound from that loss.
No, you actually make that point, Kate, and I want to kind of explore that a little bit with you,
good.
because when we think about a sport like basketball, even a bat ball sport in some ways, when you play a team the same time in the same week,
Yep.
you can make modifications the second time you see each other,
Yep.
because there's going to be some strategic changes
Yeah.
that you can make based off of what you learn. What kind of strategic changes can you make here in volleyball? You can maybe adjust your server rotation, change your front line a little bit in some sequences. I mean, what kind of adjustments can you make from game 1 on Monday to game 2 on Wednesday?
From a back row, from a defensive situation, a lot of what you're seeing, what you can make an adjustment relative to, or at least what I would do when I was in high school, is if you know what type of a server you have, if you've got a floating serve, goodness gracious, every now and again you'll see an underhand serve even at the varsity level. If you have, hard and quick, but you're constantly diving forward, or if they're constantly serving long, you can make those types of adjustments. You can kind of go with tendencies and what you normally see and be ready for those types of things. With regard to the other aspects, make sure that you're practicing your overhead passes and your bump sets, so that you have an understanding. In a lot of cases here, it's about precision and what happens on your side of the court. A lot of defensive work, I would say, primarily relative to adjustments and service work, making sure that you're as consistent with your serves as you possibly can be.
Coming up,
But again,
matchups here.
I have a rudimentary. You guys are giving me far too much credit. Far too much credit.
I will bet the viewers disagree. Coming up, next broadcast of RFM Volleyball here on Facebook.com/Media Rivalry. Coming up Wednesday, March the 24th. Again, a 5:30 first service right here inside the gym at Leominster High School. Hudson's Hucks come here to the gym at Leominster High School. Part of this slightly different, more geographic, more skill-based pod that Leominster is a part of, that we will see coming up in the weeks and months ahead. We get to see some very different schools than we have traditionally seen. These traditional volleyball schools that perhaps we're not used to seeing in basketball or football or some of the others that we might bring you here on Rivalry Family Media or with any of our partners out there. as well. So again, Wednesday, March the 24th, Hudson at Leominster, 5:30 first service right here on Rivalry Family Media, and great to have you joining us as we get ready to start the third set. Leominster, who got swept in straight sets on Monday by a 3-0 margin against this same Monty Tech team, is now 1 set away from returning the favor on straight sets here inside the gym at Leominster High School, just 2 days removed from the first matchup. Facebook.com/Media Rivalry for Rivalry Family Media live premieres and broadcasts. If you are looking for the games on demand after the fact, of course they are still available right here on Facebook, but you can also find them in our on demand at your command location. That's YouTube.com. Search Rivalry Family Media. Like, follow, and subscribe today every time we go live or post a game on demand. In either the case of Facebook or YouTube, you get a direct notification to your smart-enabled device. And for those of you that have, the ability to, whether it's screencast or come up with some other way to go from your smart-enabled device to your TV, we have seen and gotten communication from folks all around the region, all around the United States, and then some, watching these games and able to put them right on their TV in their home living room using the internet and some smart-enabled devices. As Clark's first serve of game number 3 is long of the back line. Leominster with a quick 1-0 lead. And Shaylin Nguyen, that first server for Leominster, has the ball.
All important first serve. If you're Leominster, you want to see a big run here.
Hammers it again to that back line. Pupecki has to hustle over to keep it alive. Nivard, the little soft bump, found the middle of the floor.
Kate, I noticed the teams don't change ends. Is there a reason for that? After each game?
We used to. I think
it
this is a COVID
thing?
modification.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just curious.
I would say absolutely.
This one hammered to the back line. Dug out there by Gray, but no help in either direction. That one finds the floor. Leominster's lead is quickly 3. Win with the line drive hammer. Dug out there by Hool, and she felt that one. That one got a little higher up on the forearm, I think, that she wanted.
That one's going to leave a bruise.
That came in hot.
Oof.
Now, I can remember gym class when there'd be that one kid that insisted on doing that. I'd be like, I'm meeting you in the locker room afterwards.
That was me serving to Todd.
I was saying, Win with the hammer, and Cardosi dug it up from the back line. And Cardosi will step out as the libero will return. Apologies again, wearing a number we don't have up here on press row.
It's not bothering you at all, huh?
The hammer dug out by the back line there by Gray, but not able to bring it over. That'll go as an ace.
It's a 5-0 run right now.
With Win on the back line.
I'll tally this.
Win brings the thunder again. It's kept alive. Pulver would have to bring that one over, and it was just successively getting further and further back from the net. And Monty Tech will spend a timeout, great timeout taken by Coach Sandy Duong, to try to stop this service run for Shaylin Nguyen, who's having a great start to the third game.
There's a reason why she's their first server.
No question about it.
That is just, that's a tough offensive weapon to defend right there. And you just hope the ball's not coming to you. I think you're on the defensive side.
I used to love that.
And
I used to love
for
that.
an aggressive player that feels confident in their ability, Kate, which I'm sure you played at that level. But I'm sure most of the girls out there are thinking,
one of the things
please don't let that come to me.
You're hoping for an unforced error at that
or
point.
You're hoping for a net ball.
You've got it.
Yeah. Because that's coming from up to down. There's not much arc on that as it comes over the net. Straight at you.
She's had pinpoint accuracy here in this set as well.
As the Fall 2 season continues here on Rivalry Family Media, each and every Monday night, 7:30. The live edition of the Coach's Corner. Leominster High School head coach Devin Gates joins me for the Coach's Corner. Now the Zoom-held edition of Coach's Corner here on Rivalry Family Media every Monday night at 7:30 as we preview that week's football action, which of course brings us to this week's Leominster High School football game opening up this season. Leominster travels to Shepherd Hill on Friday. Game time, 7 o'clock, countdown to kickoff on the air on our radio home, the K-Zone, WPKZ AM 1280, 105.3 FM. And that one will start at 6:30 with the countdown to kickoff. Kickoff follows at 7 for Leominster and Shepherd Hill. Our great friends at Leominster TV will also be along to provide the video and play-by-play coverage from the K-Zone as well. Win with the set for Nivard. The kill! Nivard saw the opportunity. That lane, Kate, opened up in the middle of the floor and was able to angle it from left to right across the net.
Yeah, she had a beautiful opening there.
This is Wood. Caught the fingertips on that one. Took a lot of the loft out of it. Point, ball, and service back to the Bulldogs.
I will say it's very frustrating. You feel like you're letting your team down when you go back there. You just gotten possession of the ball back, and then bam.
Dugout by Wood. Over it makes it. Kill opportunity there was dug out by Nivard. Went right back. Hot potatoes back and forth and catches the line.
Got to play that. Can't let those close ones fall.
Those hurt.
And Coach Antonetti reminding Wood of that. Back on serve, this is Madison Houle for Wood. Punched on there by Wynn. Clark with a nice set, swung over by Cardosi. Thwarted by the curtain coming down from above. Leominster's lead is 6.
Strikes again.
I was going to say, this curtain, which
It's
of course,
infamous.
it's far different than even what you had played with. Years ago, you had the folding door that went horizontally down the center of the floor. This one now comes vertically from the ceiling to the floor.
Sometimes you miss the old-fashioned accordion door.
Acts as a 7th defender as Wood popped it up. Broomfield, the libero, couldn't get underneath it. And the ball back to Monty Tech, closest they have been from 0-0 here in about a 5-point game as they battle their way back into this 3rd set. Leominster with a win would close out the match. Monty Tech with a win continues us on.
Free ball here.
Slapped on by Amosa with the kill.
I spoke too soon.
He's in the center front court height right there. Did a nice one-handed slam.
And here's Nivard. Dug out by Pulver on the back line. And then some tough communication in that left side of the floor. And Leominster will score the point. Coach Antonetti going to make a little modification here. He's going to bring Perez Soto into that back line spot. Nivard continues on serve. And again, he's been doing this, kind of has this sequential pace that he moves people around in. This is Pupecki. Shoveled on by Clark. Dug out by Nivard. And Amosa looking for the kill. Kept alive by Pulver.
Still alive.
And then Leominster not able to get underneath it. Nivard came flying up from the back line.
Just to be clear, the same player cannot touch the ball twice in a row.
That is
Bingo.
correct.
They can't chase it.
3 touches on your side of the net. 3rd one's got to go over. Can't touch it twice in a row. Can't touch
Same
it more
person
than 3
can be
times.
1st and 3rd touch.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's correct.
Correct.
Look at you learning over there.
I'm trying to get there. You know,
Look at you learning.
God forbid if you don't show up. But Todd and I will still be trying to figure out why that girl's wearing a black uniform.
No, I had that much. I had that much. Can't say much else, but I had that much. Here's Collier on serve and just shy of clearing the tape.
Last 2 servers for Leominster, not able to get the job done on their first attempt. So they're giving away points right now to Monty Tech. They're keeping Monty Tech in this game.
This is Cardosi. Dug by Broomfield, but wide toward the bench. And the ball back to Monty Tech. And King, you know, I have to imagine, I know you played in the other scoring system where you had to score
back,
on service.
You know, in the olden days.
Well, I mean, we're not that old, but yes, as it turns out, at least as far as these rules go, you know, you mentioned, of course, feeling like you're disappointing your team in this rally scoring system. I have to imagine as the kill comes this time for Perez Soto, I have to imagine back when you played, it felt even
It was
worse
heartbreaking.
because you had to be on service
Yeah.
to score a point.
It was heartbreaking. There was nothing more heartbreaking than with your first serve attempt. You just get possession back. Now you're up to serve, and you put one directly into the net immediately. There is no more heartbreaking feeling in letting your team down.
Karina Perez will come in and take her first service opportunity of the match. And starts it off with an ace,
There's
going
no-
right at the libero.
No better feeling than an ace for your team.
That would be the example of thrill of victory and agony of defeat, right? The
got it.
ace over the net versus the line drive into the net.
You got it.
And
then-
that one
yeah.
long at the back line. And Clark will take her turn.
Billy, you think my analysis for volleyball is good? Wait till we do swimming.
I'm looking forward to it, as odd as that might sound.
Find a pool, and we'll be there.
Kate will be there with goggles on.
Indeed.
They still have the swim team in
Goggles.
Gardner?
Where are the Swedes? That one kept
Ah,
alive in
my
the middle of the
Swedes.
floor by Broomfield.
Does Leominster still have a swim team?
They did. We're not sure of the answer, Bill Thomas. That's why we're both kind of. They did the pool facility, Fitchburg State University, of course, kind of decided not to renovate their pool as that one goes lined by Clark.
So there's facility
Facility
problem.
is now a real big
Because I know
problem.
Gardner was heavily involved in the swim business.
They
Bill,
were
Bill
the
Thomas,
swim
I
school.
swam against an Olympic gold
Yeah.
medalist in high school when I swam against Gardner. She lapped me.
But you still got to talk
I
about
still
it.
got to. I still
Did
got
you
to
come in
swimming.
second?
No. No.
You sure?
I got the coach's award because I could finish the 200
She
butterfly.
finished
okay.
the race. Win with the back line ace.
Not too many people like to do the 200 butterfly.
Four-
I could finish it. You're up. Ready, go.
Win on service for the second time in this game. Hammers that one. Dug out by Cardosi. Clark, and then tapped on by Houle.
Oof.
And Leominster cannot respond. Stanton was the last one over to make the touch.
Still a lot of, some tentative moments here. Again, we're very early on in the season. These young ladies were, thinking that they were going to play in August, September, October. Now all of a sudden it's February, March, and they are playing.
Pulver goes long on the back line as well, and right back to Leominster it goes.
So still working out the kinks of chemistry, working out, who does what, even at the varsity level.
Well, and of course, because there's been so much of this kind of mix and match and a la carte, do what you want kind of thing, if you can find a group of schools you can work with, you could pretty much COVID modify to your heart's content.
Yep.
Some parts of the state did play fall volleyball, and they did, no sarcasm, play it outside. They played it on open fields, whether it was turf or whether it was on a natural surface. In this central part of the state, they elected not to do that. They held out the sport to play it in this fall 2 season, and thus far the athletic directors are being proven right for making the decision, as here we are, 7 months later and able to be indoors. Long on the line.
Oh, I had that in.
I had that in too. I didn't want to say anything, Kate, but I'm glad you saw what I saw.
And Broomfield, the libero, will go to the back line on service.
That caught a break there.
It's a different vibe.
Hammers long.
Gives it right back.
Yeah, Houle thought about playing it and just at the last minute kind of looked at it and pulled the bump away, and smartly.
Got to know where you are in the court at all times. Make that kind of decision.
And Pupecki will hammer the middle of the floor. Dug out by Broomfield. Set on by Wynn. Slapped down by Sanchez. Kept alive. Got to Clark. She lost her spatial awareness, and that one will go wide of the antenna.
And that is so significant in this game. Know exactly where you are in the court. There's a lot of mental geometry that goes on. This in tennis. A lot of mental geometry.
Swung on. Nice play by Cardosi over her head. Long of the back line.
That
And the
was
ball
close,
will go
too.
back.
Okie dokie. If you say
Two
so.
calls that could have went either way right there.
Leominster within 5 of closing out the match. And Nevard just
That
got
was
it over,
crazy.
and
That was
they cannot
crazy.
respond. An ace for Nevard.
That you can see the sheer
like a
panic when you
drop
put
shot.
she put that ball up. That was not being put up in the spot she wanted, and she panicked a little. But
Hammers
nice
that one up.
recovery.
Dug up by Clark, and then Pupecki, and oh, ow, Houle was able to get contact and then
With herself.
punched herself in the face.
Yeah.
Ow.
A little too far up on her arms there. Tried to launch it reverse over her head. Came right into her face.
And Nivard, that one slipped, caught the tape, limped over, and Clark couldn't finish it. And
So that answered my next question.
Yes.
No such thing as a net or let ball.
correct, like in tennis.
As long
nope.
as it goes over.
Correct, as long as
Okay.
it's going in the direction you want it
I
to.
don't know if there was a fault there. There were a redo on it,
Nope.
like in table tennis or
Play on.
regular tennis. Oh, I'm learning.
Felicia Meza joins the fray for Leominster.
Oh, another
and
one.
Nivard catches the tape, but this time wide of the line.
Fell over.
Nivard having a little bit of trouble with her own service when she's letting that ball go up. It's going too far over her head, and she's having to make a mid-air adjustment, and it's taking a lot off of the ball, and that's why it's floating to the right.
Catching a lot of those fingers. This one wide of the line, and
So-
the ball back to Leominster. Within
Kate?
one of closing out the match.
Yes, Bill?
Once the server lobs the ball, can they catch it and do
No.
over? Or once
You,
the
I think you can
ball's
let
up,
it. Oh goodness! I think you
are
can let it
committed?
drop,
I'm curious
but
if
I
you're committed.
can't remember.
Match point, the first for Leominster.
It's been 20 years.
This one dug out by Houle as Sanchez sent it over, and she dug this one out. Meza got it over the net. Clark into the net. Leominster is a winner.
That's it. 3 straight. Yeah.
All done.
3 straight sets. Leominster lost
Well
in 3
done.
straight
Now-
sets on Monday to this same Monty Tech squad. This is the COVID-modified handshake
Everybody
here.
wave. Yeah.
I like
Usually
it.
they would shake hands,
hands
under
under
the
the
net,
net.
Yeah, up at the net.
but now we're just waving.
And welcome to COVID-modified volleyball. Leominster, a straight set winner. 25-13, 25-15, 25-13 in straight sets here inside the gym
Impressive
at
recovery.
Leominster High School. Absolutely. You lose in straight sets on Monday. You win in straight sets on Wednesday. Well, it's not going to win in the consistency battle, but it
Nope.
certainly goes down as a win. You finish the week 1-1.
Hey,
I
500.
would say these 3 sets were decisively too. I'm not sure how the sets went on Monday. I think
They were close,
one
according
of,
to
at least
Dave-
one was
Dave Palazzi said
in
they
the
were close.
20, but they look competitive. The quick look I had at the hometown page, but nice to see Leominster bounce back like this and pretty much dominate the match right from the opening serve.
No question about it. They certainly did control the action from start to finish. And we talked about that right off the bat, Bill Thomas, where they piled up the points in that very first game. Isabella Nivard had a long run on serve, and then they followed it up with Angelina Broomfield had a long run on serve. And you almost felt like, given what you came in thinking, that they lost in straight sets on Monday, you were like, is this a totally different team that we're seeing? And they were able to successfully do that.
And I think it all started with Nivard's serve in that first set. She had a number of points there, as 12 to 13, maybe as much as 14 in a row, to build that big lead. And I think that carried over in successive sets. And maybe Kate can relate to this. When you see a player set the tone like that, when you get your opportunity, I know you say I'm giving 100% all the time, but you just feel that little, you
The
want to
jolt.
match what she was doing. You know, whether you're capable of it or not, you get that little extra shot of adrenaline because now it's your turn to step up. And I think we saw a lot of that today, feeding off what Nivard did in that first set.
Well, there's no doubt about that, Bill Thomas. And the other thing is that because there are so many specializations within the game of volleyball, if you're back there for service and it's fairly early in the game, you're there because it's one of your specialties. And like you said, if you see one of your teammates who's also somebody who specializes in serving, like you said, you want to go back there and you want to do your job, okay? When I was playing volleyball, did I play the front row? Yes, I did. Was I an outside hitter? By absolutely no means was I an outside hitter, but I would do my best. But when I was in the back row, I considered myself a defensive specialist, so I was digging in the back row
digging this
and
hard serve.
service. And so I was not the number 1 server, but I was probably number 3 by the time I, got to my junior and my senior year. And that it's about consistency. It doesn't matter what it looks like going over the net. You want to have a consistent serve so that you're not letting your team down, especially considering that's what you specialize in. If you're an outside hitter, it's the same thing. You don't want to whiff on an outside shot. If you're, if you're setting or if you're, a libero, you don't want to miss when you have those bump sets or those overhead passes to your teammates because everybody has such a specific role.
That's your job.
Yeah, that's your job.
And when it's your turn to step
Yep.
up, you might not get that opportunity again, you
Yep.
know, in that same situation. And it's, you're either all in or you're out. And I'm sure
got it.
mentally the swings even from point to point can be just a roller coaster.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's harrowing.
No question about it. Leominster, a winner
Do
today.
you guys have fun?
On St.
I loved
Patrick's
it.
Day? Absolutely.
Honestly, I learned a lot today, and right from I didn't know there was a girl out there with a different color uniform from on down. Not only was it a great game, it was educational.
Absolutely, no question about it. And of course, this is a great opportunity to mention, I mean, of the many things that people enjoy about indoor volleyball, other than the constant action, the excitement, it's the fast pace of play and rally
we're done,
scoring.
baby. Boom, boom.
3 sets, a winner for Leominster in 1 hour's time.
Woo.
You can't get much faster
Well,
than
I
that.
asked you
And
before
for
the
the
wide and
match,
wonderful
how
world
long
of
was the
sports.
thing?
And the officials, I mean, they didn't even have to break a sweat.
I mean, I might be able to get into officiate. I'd be the guy over here. I don't want the clipboard. I'll tell you that.
In the world of officiating, this is one of those ones where we always joked, the volleyball officials shower before the match. The rest of us, we shower
funny.
after under normal
No, they're
circumstances.
lovely though. You
like
you
that.
will not meet nicer people than volleyball officials. They are sweet,
Nice.
but they are very particular about their substitutions because, as I said, it's a paperwork-laden job.
Well, one
no
thing I
question
did
about it.
notice, both officials were on the veteran side
Yes.
of the fence, I guess you could
As
say.
you would find in most. That's why once a week, the MIAA and our friends at the National Federation of High School Sports advertise a need for officials
Yes.
in all sports of all
These
stripes.
guys were
all
spry
kinds.
though.
Absolutely.
Let's just put it out there.
No question about it. As we see the team continue out there on the floor with Randy Wood.
Happy birthday, everybody.
Sporting the happy birthday balloon with Coach John Antonetti in the final huddle out there as well. Leominster a winner in straight sets today. 25-13, 25-15, 25-13 for the 3-set victory here today inside the gym at Leominster High School on this St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day to one and all out there. Enjoy your evening. Great to have you along with us, and you can look forward to more high school volleyball right here on Rivalry Family Media. Coming up next Wednesday, March the 24th, Hudson comes to the gym at Leominster High School for a 5:30 first serve here inside the gym at Leominster High School. Live stream will begin just about 15 minutes before action as they caught us a little bit by surprise today, but we'll get them by next week, hopefully about 15 minutes before that first serve to set the scene for you here inside the gym at Leominster High School. As Leominster improves tonight with a 1-1 record and this straight set victory. Meanwhile, Monty Tech, the split of the week, also 1-1 at the end of week 1 of fall 2 in volleyball action here inside the gym at Leominster High School. So many ways to be a part of the action here on Rivalry Family Media. We'll run them down for you as well. Live premieres available on Facebook.com/Media Rivalry, where you're looking at it right here and now. Games available on demand on YouTube. That tiny URL will take you right to the page, tinyurl.com/Media Rivalry, or you go to youtube.com, you search Rivalry Family Media. Usually by the time you get to the F or the A, YouTube has already pulled up the right location for you, and you can find all of our Rivalry Family Media broadcasts available on demand same day out there on YouTube. Search, like, subscribe, and follow today,
Subscribe,
as it says
and
at the
then
bottom of the
we'll
screen.
be on your homepage.
Absolutely, on your
You don't have
homepage.
to look for us.
Comes right to your phone anytime we go live or anytime we put something up on demand. So all of that available for you right here on Rivalry Family Media. Also, again, one more opportunity to plug the continuation of the fall season here on Rivalry Family Media. Coach's Corner every Monday night, 7:30 here on Rivalry Family Media. Leominster High School head football coach Devin Gates and myself preview that week's action and recap the week prior. All of that 7:30 on Mondays right here, Facebook.com/Media Rivalry for those. We also thank our great friends out there joining us. Leominsterites Unite. Leominster, that's my hometown. Some great groups out there. We'll pop this one over into discussing Fitchburg Now as well. I should have dropped this one into discussion Fitchburg Now. I will do that when we get off the air as well.
We got to hear from Aunt Pat, too.
So that we can certainly
That's
get
who we need
our
to hear
feedback on this one as well. And then, of course, start of the high school football season comes your way on Friday. Leominster travels to Shepherd Hill for week 1 of this COVID-modified football season in action right here inside the gym at Leominster High School, all the way out to Carmagnati Field at Shepherd Hill. We'll go from here to there. The weather far different, but we're looking forward to that action as well. Leominster at Shepherd Hill starts at 7 o'clock on Friday. Our K-Zone coverage on the radio, AM 1280, 105.3 FM. Every Leominster game, home and away, will be available on radio AM, FM, AM 1280, 105.3 FM, WPKZstream.com for the radio call of all of Leominster's football action. Billy, Kate, and myself looking forward to that. And then our partners, as always, Leominster TV. They will join us. Comcast, Verizon, Leominster.tv for the live stream of that one. They'll come on just before the 7 o'clock first kick of that one, as kickoff will get started on Friday night. And then, of course, Billy and Kate and I are doing a radio doubleheader this week. So we got Leominster Shepherd Hill, 7 o'clock on Friday. And then follow that up with St. Bernard's at Groton Dunstable to be played at Neshoba Valley Tech if you're scoring along with us. That game is at Saturday, 2 o'clock, the kickoff on that one. And our countdown to kickoff on AM 1280, 105.3 FM, and WPKZstream.com. That one at 1:30. So that's all the action coming your way over the next so many days, and the week begins anew next Monday, March the 22nd, with the Coach's Corner right here on Rivalry Family Media. That'll do from inside the gym at Leominster High School for the very first varsity volleyball match broadcast anywhere from here inside the gym at Leominster High School. And Leominster takes the win today, web streaming. Leominster, a straight set win, 3-0 over Monty Tech, responding to a 3-0 loss to that same Bulldog team from Monday. Leominster's wins 25-13, 25-15, 25-13 across those first 3 games of this one. For Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins, I am Todd Robbins saying thank you so very much for joining us. And until next Wednesday from here inside the gym and more volleyball action, or until football just a couple of days from now, you stay with us. Fall action here. Stay safe out there, and so long, everybody.